I'm Emma. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York. Just raced monster track with this Cinelli Vigorelli. The colorway is the blue one, as you can see. Fairly new bike for me, but I had a lot of fun. The fork is a Columbus carbon fork, a Columbus headset. For the cockpit, I've got a 100 centimeters pole stem, Thompson tie bars. I think there's 680. I usually run them with a little extensions, but I took them off for New York. These are my favorite grips, SQ Labs Ergo size S, fairly small hands, very important, slow squat top cap, hand engraved. For the saddle, it's a C13, the widest of the two they make, so it's 158, pretty comfy, it's my racing saddle. That's the Ergo seat post that comes with the frame kit. For the crank, I've got a Sugino 75. It's 167.5. I wish I could find a shorter one, but I love Sugino, so I just took it. And it has a iron chainring, 4070. I've ride quite some kilometers on this on other bikes. It's my to-go for sure, and that's just some Tamata carbon pedals. I've got the wheel set. I laced it like 6 days before coming to New York, so I'm bloody full. It held, and it's pole hubs. They're both like bought used, so you can see this is a bit fading. The front one is a bit more darker. But it's a nice add, I think. And it's just some DT Swiss 470 rims. I took the stickers off, and mandatory silver spokes. I don't like the black ones. And it got 16 teeth Durace cog. So 47-16 was my ratio. I was pretty happy with it. I'm usually 47-17, but it was nice not to be spinning on the long avenues stretches. And it's Gator hard shell tires, which were okay. Yeah, I was pretty happy with the build. It came, as I said, together like truly 4 days before the race, and racing with the bike was my third time on it. And it's pretty comfy, and I feel fast. Yeah, and this is it, I think. Oh, it's Umi chain. I didn't say that. I came from Copenhagen, Denmark. I live and work there. And I'm originally from Milan, but I've been out there for 4.5 years now. And I really like working there and the people in the community, so I like to call that my home and base. And yeah, it was great to race here in New York. It's not the first time that I come and do alley cats. I was here in 2022 for the CNWC and raced quite a bit in the city. But it's been a while, and also Copenhagen is very different from New York for sure in terms of infrastructure and traffic, and it's, yeah, sad. It's been a while, and I was just still confident of my bike skills, but haven't raced or ridden through traffic in a long time. And New York kind of reminds me a bit of Milan, but where I'm from originally, but it's probably easier to navigate if you're an out-of-towner, which came into my hand for this race, I guess.
What first got you into cycling?
I started cycling just commuting to school when I was a teenager, and then I got into track bikes, just watching people riding in Milan, and YouTube videos, of course. And then, yeah, the track bike is the easiest, right? Or at least if you're yeah, trying to pick a frame and don't think too much about the build. I had some friends that helped me out at that time, and I just put together an easy steel frame and I started riding with that. And in Milan there was, I guess it was at that point 2016, and there was a pretty famous biker company, UBM Milano, and yeah, I would see them riding around with Bullet and crazy cargo, and I remember being like, I want to do the same shit, and I just reached out to the company. But it was also at the same time I applied to college or university. So my first years riding a bit more rather than just for commuting, where at work being a bike messenger and yeah, kind of juggling part-time and studies, and that was, I think, the first step in real biking.
Do you ride any other kinds of bicycles?
Right now I ride a lot of bikes. Maybe the ones that I ride the most are my Omnium Cargo. I use at work almost every day. I work full-time now in Copenhagen. And the other bike that I ride a bunch is my Alma or Orbea Alma hardtail that I use for mountain bike off-road ultra bikepacking races that I recently got into.
How long have you been working as a messenger? I don't know if you said that or not, I couldn't hear. But
No, I've been working as a messenger for 8.5 years. My first 4 years were in Milan. Let's say 3 years part-time.
You're right.
And after I graduated, after I finished my bachelor, I worked almost a year full-time in Milan. It was during lockdown, so it was like, it was real full-time. We would start 7 in the morning and finish like 8 at night, just because there was so much distro somehow. And then I moved to Copenhagen, got offered a job at Vigorelli. It's the company I'm working, or the collective, let's call it, I'm working with right now. And it's been just full-time there. So I work 5 days a week, 8-hour shift. 4 are on the bike and 1 it's usually in the office, either dispatching or doing some other kind of back operation tasks. And yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a very good, solid team, and it gives me a lot of flexibility. I'm able to take time off and travel and just do races and yeah, see different countries and meet new people. It's just the best.
Speaking of races,
Yeah.
how is the transition from being a full-time working messenger going into ultra racing?
I've got into ultra racing mainly hearing experiences from friends that are also bike messengers, and like now that I've done, let's say 3 or 4, I can totally say that, like, I can agree that working as a messenger and just spending a bunch of hours on the bike, it gives you the perfect base for long distances. And moving to Copenhagen, I was able to go to the forest in just like no time. It's 13 kilometers what's that, like less than 10 miles away from town. You get to the forest and you can ride proper mountain bike trails. And
What is slow squad?
slow squat is everything. It's my whole world. No, it's truly is a bit of everything, but mainly just a family and a group of, I'd say, really chill and easy people. It is international, so we come from a bit around the world, and there is our president toy dog. He's based in Tokyo, and then there's different divisions from different cities around the world, and some ride fast, some ride slow. We generally meet up again at events and organize side events, and we most of the time have a pop-up store with some sick merch, and it's just great to have a family and group of friends all on the same vibes and the same line of thinking. And I guess I met Toy Dog first, I want to say New York 2022. Oh no, sorry, Jakarta in 2019 at the World Championships there. And we had to chat a bit, but then I got to know him better here in New York in 2022. He's a cool dude, but everyone in the slow squad are very cool.
What is your favorite place to ride in the world? Any kind of ride?
Yeah. I really enjoyed riding in Japan for my bikepacking tour. It was also my first solo, so I would focus a lot on my riding and how I felt with the bike and how I felt with the landscape. And it's so sick out there. It feels very safe, and most of the infrastructures are great, and I would just visit insane places. But if I have to think, for example, where I enjoy the most riding for work, I must say Copenhagen. It's so easy, and you can just go very fast and cover a lot of distance with my cargo bike. I close quite big days, and I remember when I first started, maybe I was definitely less experienced in Milan, but I would finish my work days being very stressed, and maybe had arguments with these many cars and these many taxi drivers, and you'd feel happy that you made it home kind of after the close calls or whatever. And in Copenhagen, I don't need to worry about, of course it depends how I ride, but it's very safe and very easy to ride a bike there. I guess with Amsterdam is one of the most bike friendly cities in the world, and the infrastructure just works perfectly, I would say. If I need to think about racing, probably New York is, I guess it's very fresh right now, and I had an incredible time during Monster Truck, and it's very stuck in my head how fun it was and how cool the city is. But every time I come back here, I'm like, shit, this is magical. This is the best kind of, if you wanna go fast and just experience the urban environment. And I love cities. I've traveled quite a bit for these bike passengers events I mentioned, and every time a new city, it's dope. I rarely think that this sucks. Like it's not a thing. It's just cool that every town has a different vibe and a different way of flowing, and the culture, and of course the architecture and the history. Everything is it's a mix. And in the last year, I've been to crazy remote places, and of course, like those are up there. So it's very hard to decide which is my favorite environment, because I try to do more and different things on the bike. I think that's also why I enjoy riding so much. It can brings you anywhere, kind of.
So how many times have you been to CMWC, and have you won any?
I've been to 5 CMWC. I've been to Riga, Jakarta, New York, Yokohama, and Zurich this past year, and I've won 3 of them in a row. So that was Jakarta, New York, and Yokohama, and I got second in Zurich, but I was also riding my Minimax on a pretty narrow course, but I still had a lot of fun. The field is still strong, so that's good. But yeah, it's always great to catch up again with the community and visit new places. And I need to explain what it is.
Yeah, explain what CMWC is.
Yeah, so CMWC, it's Cycle Messenger World Championships, and it's definitely not the only championships that happen. There's like European, every country can throw their own messenger championship, but worlds are just like, they're the biggest ones. They connect everyone, and it's usually 3 to 1 week or 3 to 5 days events, and there's different races and competitions, and it's the main event throughout the weekend is usually, or it's called the main race, and it's just as close as possible to a work day simulations. At World, it has to be in a closed course, so it is already decided map. Sometimes there's directions, sometimes there's not, but we'll have checkpoints on the map, and you're given a manifest, so a piece of paper with usually some jobs. It can be an easy A to B, or just a list of the checkpoints, and you need to complete the manifest, so it's mean by all the checkpoints in the most logical and quick way. And there's definitely more manifests, so you finish one and get the other one, or you can work on more at the same time. So it really depends on the organizers and how they want to set the rules, but all of those are given prior the start of the race, so you get a sense of what you're gonna do. And there's usually qualifications, and if you made it, there is the finals, that about 4 hours of racing in the closed course, and whoever wins the main race then gets the title for the world champ. And then there's of course alley cats, there's tracklocross, there's other fun side events, and And then there's also a lot of partying and hanging out, and every city has its own style and way to do things, and it's always very cool to see so much work community can put to organize these events that end up hosting up to 500 or more people. I think Zurich was huge because there's a lot of bikers companies in Europe, and Zurich is fairly accessible, and they also made a good work on giving out some registration for free, and all the food was included, so also for people that don't earn as much as Swiss Courier makes, they could still, if they managed to take the time off, they could still come and have a great time. And there is, most of the time, housing is sorted by the organizing people, so it's either free within the registration fee or for a very cheap price. Sometimes the city is more involved, sometimes it's less involved, but there's always a part of reaching out to the municipality and based on the rules that's in the country, just sort out how to get the spot for the main race, and yeah, and just like very solid work on building a network and managing to put together very cool events.
Have you raced monster truck before? And how did you do?
Monster truck was sick. It was my first one. I've raced alley cats in New York before during CNWC in 2022, and I think it was 1 week and there was an alley cat every evening, and I love alley cats. I love racing through traffic, so I did all of them and I think that was a very solid base. Like when I arrived here in New York this time on Thursday evening, and then I spent Friday just riding around Manhattan, just covering 100 Ks up and down, following a bit Ando, stealing some jobs for flyover the city. Ando is New York Slow Squat President Zaza division, and that also gave me a better, like it reminded me how to approach intersections and riding through the streets. I would be like, okay, shit, I remember like First Avenue is fast, or I remember not to go down Broadway from north, because it's cool the intervention they made there, like tactic urbanism, share streets, but it's not fast, and if you want to go through quick, it's not ideal. So all these kind of came back to my head, and I've been watching Hotlines, and I've seen monster truck videos, and I know the energy in New York is just kind of unmatchable, and the competition and the field is strong. So I was a bit tense coming into the race, and I ended up winning first WTF, and I think we can say 4th overall. There's no fucking rules as stated on the manifest, so that was about the results. Yeah, I still.
Did you do anything to prepare?
If I did anything to prepare?
Yeah, anything extra to prepare, like fitness or diet wise? I did not. Or nothing too different from what I do daily. Of course, after
So I was in Morocco for Atlas Mountain Race mid-February, and it's the first time that I've been like training properly, other than just stretch miles at work. So I would have a structured training program and a coach, and that of course helped getting stronger on the bike or faster. Like I can definitely agree that intensity work, it's a thing. And when I came back from Morocco, after the whole winter spent on my work bike and my hardtail, I switched to my track bike that I had already built. And it was just like, it was necessary to get back to remember not to fucking stop pedal. You can't coast. You need to like be way more vigilant and look ahead and just be more aware of what's happening around you. So that got me into the mood more. I was so excited to get back on the cream cheese bagel. I've been vegan for some years, but now I'm just vegetarian. I generally I buy vegan, but I eat vegetarian. But I was stoked for the bagel. That's what I ate the morning of the race. And then I can't eat before a big race. Like I'm not gonna eat a sandwich before the race starts. Like that's just not good. I know it. And also at work, most of my colleagues take lunch break on the 8-hour shift or on the 6-hour shift. I just run it through. So I work the full 8 hours, and I'm used to snacking on the bike, and that's what I do at ultras as well.
What's the meaning of life?
The meaning of life. It's, oh man, I should have prepared this one. Wanna ask it again? Oh, shit. Thank you. The meaning of life. It's a hard question, of course, and I feel my whole personality and life just circulates around bikes, so I'll just answer with bikes. But I try to live following the flow and go with the things that come up on my path. And maybe I've been lucky, maybe it's, I don't know, it's some karma shit, but it's been good for now. So I try to take it chill. I'm still very, like, I get anxious and I stress about things, and probably I work too hard, and sometimes I'm like, am I supposed to be doing this? I could just, not, it's not suffering, because I do love the struggle of getting through hard stuff, of course, but I think, it's just cool to see what the life throws at you and try go with it, or overcome the hard situation and deal with my limits and just kind of grow with it.
What are your plans after New York? Where are you off to?
So I'm on a bit of a, let's say, the time off work. I'm staying here until Tuesday, so yeah, that's tomorrow. And then I'm gonna go over to the West Coast. I'll be staying in Oakland for a while until the end of my ESTA, like the visa program duration, so 2.5 months.
Yo, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'll be staying with my partner Sean.
Snake baby, Sean Mom?
Yeah, I'll stay with him.
Yeah.
I'm visiting Snake baby. And yeah, like before coming here, I had to pack down all my stuff and move out of my room, so I didn't have to pay rent. And I put everything in my storage with, yeah, all the bikes and the bags and the clothes I own. I realized, like, I moved to Copenhagen, I didn't have much stuff, and now I have all sort of shit. I'm a bit of an hoarder. But yeah, I did that. So that was also a bit stressful. But now I'm excited for the West Coast. I've never been, and I'm gonna be racing some bikepacking events. First one is Stagecoach 400 around San Diego. Bit of forest, bit of city, bit of desert. And then I'll be doing, I'm gonna go down to Sea Otter just for the festival, for the weekend, not doing any race there. And then I'm gonna do a new ultra called Bikepacking the Bay. It's just around SF. It's a bit shorter than what I'm used to, so that's probably good because my body will feel it at that point. And yeah, and then I think LA invitation and some other small stuff happening.
Have you prepared for Stagecoach? Oh, take this right.
Yeah, I've got my like preparation in from training for Morocco, and I flew here with both this Cinelli Vigorelli and my hardtail. So I have 2 bikes with me and all my gear. And I think as soon as I get to, I didn't put it out of, like I didn't build my hardtail, of course, for the weekend, but as soon as I get to Auckland, I'm gonna build the mountain bike and just start riding that one for the couple of weeks prior to the race. And I'm excited. It's slightly shorter as well as what I'm used to. What is it, 650 kilometers, 400 miles, and it's still tough conditions. And some people were posting about the weather forecast at the moment. It's cold, so it's not that we'll manage to go light. And it's me, and Sean is also coming, and his coach Zach, that I'm excited to meet, and hopefully a couple of other good friends made it. I'd be stoked to see Hannah Simon. I met her at Silk Road, and she's a very strong rider, and her partner Eric that I met in Morocco last month. I don't know, it's gonna be a good time.
It's raining, and we're having some camera issues with the camera from the water, unfortunately. So we're gonna wrap up this interview with Emma. I'm shooting on the phone now. Anyways, I just wanted to ask Emma one more question before we go. Where can people find you on the internet?
I'm on Instagram. My nickname, or yeah, how's it called? It's Shatti. And I'm on Strava as well, same name. Otherwise, you can look for Emma Missale. That's my last name. Yeah, and that's it.
And do you have any last things you want to say, or any people you want to shout out?
Yeah, well, of course, shout out to Slow Squad. They're always supporting whatever I do. And I need to maybe thank my sponsors, Cinelli for giving me the sick frame, and Brooks for the very comfy saddle. I ride only Brooks saddles. They're the best for me. And, well, good old Arndt chainring, always trustful. Shout out to vidIQ for the shoes and the helmet. These are not the ones that I was wearing at Monster Truck. I was wearing some Tempo Beat new shoes. Very nice. I think they really helped me in some intersections. And the new helmet, you'll check it out. Also, all my friends, and I don't think my mom watched the video, but for sure my friends were like stick to the live during Monster Truck, and it was cool to have some support back home and here, and every other person that just tuned in for the race. It was dope.
Thank you for your time, Emma. Appreciate you.
Thank
You guys know where to find her. We'll see you soon on the podium somewhere.
Haha.
So we bring to a close the story of rigid control through the unceasing research and the highest quality.